Welcome, Fever fans and WNBA fans, to the Central Indiana Sports Report for today's. I've waffled on what to call this, guys, so maybe help me out. Our Fever Report, but it's also kind of a Fever playoff preview, but it's also a WNBA.
Just call it the Fever WNBA playoff preview.
I would just
Fever
call
/ WNBA.
WNBA playoff preview with a focus on Fever.
Oh, there you go.
That's too many words.
Yeah.
Well, whatever.
Well, then just do a Fever / WNBA report.
There we go. Everybody, now you know where the title came from. Welcome, everybody. I'm joined at Tipton Municipal Golf Course by our Fever guy, John Robertson, and Tipton Tribune and Elwood Call Leader sports editor Michelle Garmon to talk about the Fever and the WNBA, their expectations. Going to ask them to make picks. John, take it away.
Well, looking at the bracket, if we want to start with talking about the Fever, I think that I like the draw the Fever ended up getting. We got the 6th seed, and we're facing Atlanta in round 1. I truly think that's the best outcome we could have seen.
No doubt about it.
I like getting Atlanta. We played them early in the season, and they beat us early in the season, but I think with where we are now, that's the best matchup we could have gotten.
Talent-wise, for sure. The other two teams that were a possibility were instant death, probably.
Well, here's the thing. I wouldn't have minded the Aces at one point, but the Aces are on such a roll right now. And what they did last night, 22 three-pointers, and again, I mean, they're just firing on all cylinders. So I think the dream is the best for us.
Yeah, I agree. Like if we get the Aces that we played earlier in the season, absolutely give me the Aces, because we did really well against them. But like I would have to go back and see what roster we had versus that Aces squad too.
Before we get to that schedule, John, earlier in the year I said the Knicks need to hire Becky Hammons as their next head coach, and you said, well, the Aces aren't playing very well. Have you changed your mind? Did they make a mistake?
They're playing better. I don't know what happened, what caused the shift. I mean,
she's a good coach.
I'll tell you, because I tracked it. The shift, it turned when she took Jewel Lloyd, moved her out of the starting lineup and put her off the bench. That's when because Lloyd wasn't consistently scoring. They put her off, coming off the bench. It also allowed Jackie Young to reestablish the role that she was comfortable with. It changed it. That made a big difference because Lloyd gave him production off the bench. Young felt more comfortable. She got to go back to kind of the role that she'd had. And I really think that was it. I think that
so
shift in
answer my
alignments.
question. Did the Knicks make a mistake not hiring Becky Hammons?
Oh, no, the Knicks
coach?
did not make a mistake.
Well, they made a mistake in firing their coach and then
that's
hiring
fair.
a bad
fair,
coach,
but
Becky Hammons would have been a great choice.
We've had this conversation. I'm not a Becky Hammons fan. She's fine, but there's always toxicity around her teams. So, part of that has to come from...
she'd fit right in with the Knicks.
Well, maybe, but I'm just saying, if I owned a team, I'm not hiring her because I can't deal with the locker room drama.
All right, guys, let's talk more about the Fever.
Sure,
I got
you're
track with my Becky Hammond talk.
I do think, the Fever can match up well against the Dream. I think that there is a good chance they can pull off the first round win. They only get 3 games to do it, though, so they're going to have to win one of the first 2. I know that's the obvious statement, but at least I am happy that it's going home or away game, home game, away game, as opposed to away, home, as it was last year in the past. I think that was that's one of the few smart moves that the WNBA has made.
Yes. Hey, let's give them bravo because we've been tearing them down all year.
They needed, especially with the way attendance is and ticket sales, it was criminal in a lot of ways to not make sure every team had playoff team had a guaranteed home game.
Well, did you see, since we're talking about attendance, the Atlanta game's playing in their normal home stadium. They're not playing in a larger stadium, so they can only be 3,500 capacity.
Yes.
3,500 capacity for the Dream.
Good thing Caitlin wasn't playing.
Well, it doesn't matter. I think it's going to be full, but I think that people are going to see on national television, because Fever got the only ABC nationally televised game on Sunday also, that they're going to see what the WNBA stadiums actually look like, and they're small.
Yes.
They're really small in a lot of places.
But it'll be crowded and it'll be loud because
it'll
be a good atmosphere.
It will be. The noise will be. That arena should make it.
The Hawks should go to 3,500.
Echo and be louder.
I just think people don't realize how small most WNBA arenas are. We're used to playing at Gainbridge. It's an NBA stadium. And when people come here, I sat next to people from multiple places, and they're like, holy crap, this is huge for WNBA. And I'm like, this is just what I'm used to. But it'll be interesting to see how that affects it. I guess probably go 1-1, and then we'll see who wins Game 3 back in Atlanta. I think the Fever have a chance as long as they stay confident. I think they're playing pretty well as a group, as a squad, especially considering that they're trying to gel a team that hasn't been together the whole season.
Barely been together.
But you have to give the front office of the Fever credit for finding people who fit the system and who work well together, and they care about each other, because I think that's played such a big part into their success. And we do have to talk about Kelsey Mitchell got nominated AP first.
She
team.
made it. They announced it. She made AP first All-NBA.
Which she deserves. She absolutely deserves.
No doubt about it.
Kelsey Mitchell and
if
Aaliyah
they didn't,
Boston.
it would be. Yeah, was Aaliyah?
No, I don't think she made it. But
second
not
team?
First team.
But
they didn't release.
Okay.
I didn't see a second team release.
Because I would assume she would be second.
No,
that's what I was assuming.
But I was just going to say, I think those two, it's a testament to how well they play the game and play well together to hold this team together with all the gaps we've had all season.
And John, you talked about bringing in players that fit. I think part of that is those players have to adjust to a locker room where players are in harmony, and you can't be the person who isn't.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, then you turn into
leadership. That's the kind of leadership that. Yeah, that's exactly right.
You were talking about
and a lot of teams in the WNBA.
Fever having a chance to go 1-1. I agree, because I will say this. Aaliyah Boston, Lexi Hall, they were in the playoffs last year.
Yep.
Odyssey Sims has been in the playoffs before.
She's really impressed me.
Natasha Howard has. Yes. So
Odyssey Sims honestly impressed me so much. When she came in, my daughter and I were at the first game she was played in, and it was a little rough getting started. And I was kind of like, well, I don't know. I guess we're spoiled with Arian McDonald coming in and just being great. But then Odyssey has played so well.
She has.
She's played so well, and give her all the credit in the world for coming in and finding how to
amazing.
this team. Yeah, she's been so good.
Well, I look at that roster, and I think Timpson's probably the only one that hasn't been in that environment, and she's just a limited. When you get to the playoffs, of course, Fever's bench has gotten smaller anyway, but.
It might get really small now, and that might play to their advantage because it's still a pretty good starting five.
Yeah, well, Turner and Petty, they have been in the playoffs too. I mean, and they've played together, and I think that's part of the reason Turner's minutes have
only five. I mean, they're going to go more to a core five.
That's kind of the reason Turner's minutes have gone up a little bit, because of that familiarity, and I think it has boded well for the Fever.
I think you hit on one of the things that's going to be the Fever's biggest struggle, though, is they don't have depth.
Yeah.
They have lots of players with experience, but as far as talent depth, it's shallow. And if I saw it the other night against the Lynx, we were doing real well, but as soon as that second squad came in, Lynx definitely went on a run. So we'll see how that plays out.
What's your prediction?
I honestly think the Fever are going to go 1-1 in the first two, and then they're going to pull it out in the third game. I think they're going to win round one.
I do too, Michelle.
I'm not as confident as you guys, but I will take
I'm not confident.
Okay.
Let's be real.
51-49, Michelle. 51-49.
I'm about the same. I'm not super confident, but I just feel like they can make it happen. I think they've got the grit, and they've showed the determination that they can pull it off.
Here's what I think. I don't believe the Fever are satisfied. I think they want to show that, they don't want to use injuries as an excuse. And when you look at the number of wins they got, the fact that they got the number 6 playoff seed with what they've went through this year, it's incredible. Front office did a great job. Stephanie White and her staff have done a great job. Stephanie White has been here before. I will take the Fever too. They just can't afford any more injuries.
No.
Before we move on, and I don't want to get off on a tangent, I just want to say this. I feel horrible for Brittany Griner that she got caught between a horrible political system and a U.S. president who was asleep, but I still can't stand her. Oh.
So if the Fever win, if we are correct, and hopefully we are, we have the Seattle and Las Vegas Aces matchup, and I think with the way the Aces have been playing, you have to think Las Vegas is going to be the clear-cut winner here.
Oh.
I'll be surprised if it's not a sweep.
Me too. I wouldn't be surprised at all if the Aces win in 2. I know Seattle's kind of given them a little bit of a thing, but I'm just not a firm believer. I think Seattle could have done better this year. I'm not a believer in that team. I think the Aces are clicking.
100 points every game.
So
you don't like Seattle?
I do not like Seattle.
I do like the Aces.
They're not as much as New York and the Fever, of course. But
I like the Aces.
I like Jackie Young.
That's good. Ready to say we know that I'm probably the biggest. My fandom for the Aces is because Jackie Young is on that team,
Absolutely.
and I just think she's
Southern Indiana girl, we love her.
Well, one thing I meant to say earlier when we were talking about when the Aces turned it around and started this hot streak, I mean, I don't know that Fever fans want to hear it, but it's when they picked up Nalissa Smith. And Nalissa Smith has made a big impact on that team.
Well, and she was inserted in that, and that allowed them to take their other forward on
right.
the bench. So, I mean,
you just never know how someone's going to fit in differently somewhere.
But yeah, as far as this one goes, I do think there's some bad blood between the two teams, but I don't think that the Seattle has the firepower to pull it off, especially with the way Las Vegas has been playing.
Asia Wilson, Jackie Young, you talk about two players that have been in big game, and Jewel, well, those two, because I'm talking college, pro, at all levels. I mean, they've come from winning programs, and they are very accustomed to playoff type environments.
So do you, if the Fever, and let's say we're correct, Fever versus Aces in the next round, do the Fever have any shot of getting through them?
I would not think so, but you never know how constricting the minutes, giving more minutes to the starters is going to work. I still really, really doubt it.
I would say if we weren't, this is terrible, but if we still had maybe Sophie Cunningham or even
just
Ari
one
McDonald,
more.
One more, we would probably have a better shot against the Aces. But I think where we're at now, we don't.
Yeah,
I think they'll get a game. I think they'll get at least a game.
Even just without Caitlin and all the other ones hadn't happened, I still might like their chances against the Aces, but that's not what happened.
If we had our full roster, I would take the Fever.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm saying full roster without Caitlin.
I agree with that too.
Yes.
But like we had our full roster, I absolutely Fever.
Yeah. I'd probably take them to win it all, but
I'm not
we are here where we are.
I'm not going to say they can't do it. I think they've shown they can beat anybody on the right night, but it's can they do it consistently enough to win a series? I want to live in a world where they can shock us and get it done. But if I'm a gambling person, I would need some serious odds to bet on the Fever.
So we all agree Aces in the finals. Then.
Yes,
probably. All right. So then if we go, we can kind of bust through the top left pretty quick. We got Lynx versus Valkyries, and I feel like Lynx are going to just walk them.
I don't know if they'll walk them, but they're going to
win. I don't know that they'll walk them either, but they will win.
Yeah.
Don't need to spend a lot of time on it.
Yeah. And then this is probably the most interesting matchup of the playoffs. It is Mercury, New York.
New York. I'll take the Liberty because
I can't wait.
Especially
because
if Ionescu is back. If the Liberty are at full strength, and they have not been for much of the. It was like they didn't have Stewart. They got her back. Then they didn't have Sabrina. So I think if they're at full strength, I think they're poised to defend their title.
No, I think so as long as they're at full strength. But they just went on such a slide with Stewie and everybody out. So. We'll just see if they've got it back to where they're fit enough.
Minnesota's going to be tough.
No, I agree.
I really want the Liberty. I've kind of fallen in love with this team, and I like their attitude. I like the way they play. I hate that they're in New York, but at least they're not in Manhattan. So at least there's that. No. So I really hope they do. I just don't know if they can beat Minnesota.
So we agree that it's going to be New York versus Minnesota in the next round. Okay, as long as the Mercury don't win, I hate the Mercury.
Oh yeah.
I feel like the Mercury.
Real fast.
I hate the Mercury like you hate Seattle.
Yeah, I'm gonna hate watch that one.
Yeah,
but also kind of love watching the Liberty. But I'm gonna be hate watching the Mercury.
No, I agree with you there. I do like this. This is the only team from New York I like. I like the Liberty a lot. And then we've got Lynx Liberty, a rematch of the finals last year for round 2. Thoughts?
I could see that going the maximum games.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'll tell you, I know, and the Lynx are out for blood, but I will say this: there's just something about the Liberty. I think the Liberty will get them again. I just like it because I think the Liberty just has. I just like them. I just think they have a good chemistry when they're all healthy and they're performing.
I would prefer the Liberty over the Lynx, but
so would I.
But I'm gonna say I think the Lynx go to the finals.
It's the Lynx years, guys. It's their year. I'm sorry. I just think it is. I don't want it to be.
Yeah, I don't like their coach.
I like the Aces and the Liberty way more.
Yeah.
And they're the 3 teams that could win it, right? We all agree with that. Those are the 3 teams that could win it. Yeah.
Yes.
I like the other 2 way more, but I just have a feeling that it's Nafisa's season. and the Lynx are going to win.
Well, and here's the thing,
and I don't think it's particularly
we're
going to be
much
close.
more likely to get to have the finals if Nafisa or Stewie are in the finals, because then they'll collective bargaining to get it done instead of the other way around.
That's true.
Because if they're not going to make the finals, then I guarantee we have a lockout.
Oh yeah, because
so I have a massive problem with the conflict of interest there, but that's another episode later. Because
because we're waiting to talk to some Tipton tennis.
So I definitely think that it's going to be. I'm going to say Lynx Aces in the finals, but my dream matchup is New York and Fever. If we get New York Indiana finals, I would like
that.
It.
Would be a great
the
matchup.
Dream.
That would be a great. Like I said, I'll stay with the Liberty and the Aces. To win it all between those. I think if the Liberty get it back to the finals, even though I like the Aces, and I will say this, Becky Hammond, I don't like her as much as I did in the past since I've read some things that have gone on, but I will never doubt how good a coach she is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a great
coach. I'll not
coach.
say anything positive about her.
So
you guys can say all the positive things you want.
But you know what? Like I said, I actually think that those injuries, in some ways, have helped the Liberty because they didn't. I think the Liberty have felt very comfortable being where they are seated because they didn't rush anybody back. So that tells me that their goal has been to repeat all along, to go in, be healthy, and repeat.
So Lynx, Liberty.
I got Lynx winning the whole thing. I just think that's what's going to happen. It's not what I would prefer, but I'm not wrong that often. But I would like to be wrong this time, and
Me too.
We'll see what happens.
Michelle, we hope you're right.
Oh, thank you.
I hope we're all wrong, and Fever prove us
right.
right.
That's
I would
true.
like that.
The Fever really shocks the WNBA,
and somehow get it done. But
that's what
if the Fever with this rot and everything would get in there, then the lockout definitely happens, right?
No,
26 is our year.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. If the Fever make the finals and it's not Lynx or Liberty, I guarantee there's a lockout.
Perfect way to end it, John. Thank you so much for meeting us out here once again. Beautiful day. What a beautiful season we're having right now. And Michelle Garmon, I forgot where I was. I got transfixed by the scenery out here. Thank you guys so much for your time, and go Fever.
Go Fever.
All right, go Fever.
And boiler up.
No.
Michelle said during the Purdue report that she would never say boiler up. I was trying to trick her into saying it, but she just wouldn't do it. Thanks so much to John and Michelle for doing that. Thanks so much to Tipton Municipal Golf Course. It's such a beautiful place, and they are such nice people. Go check it out if you are into golf. You won't regret it. Well, I mean, you might, but I'm guessing that you won't. And thank you for listening. Do us a huge favor and share this podcast with a Fever fan in your life and help spread the word. The Central Indiana Sports Report is here, talking about Central Indiana sports every single day. Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media, and I love you, Susie.